Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pretend Problems podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Chad Daniels.
Hi.
Hey.
You can probably tell by the fact that Chad didn't say a different person that today we're running on fucking fumes.
I just had something. I just got up here. There's water in my ears, and I'm just don't want to have to think.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming off of the stomach flu. Yay! But we're here.
Sounded fun. And I do mean sounded.
I was going to say, you were near the bathroom a couple times. Sorry to anybody in the SeaTac airport who heard me throwing up. Always fun to have the stomach flu while you have to travel.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Such a bummer.
But my shows in Tacoma were fantastic. You crowds were amazing. Thank you so much to those of you who came out. And Chad got to go to a cousin's family reunion.
Yeah.
And told an incredible ghost story to me that I am begging you to share with our listeners.
Well, let's just say it's a story. Let's not put too much weight on it. And here's the thing. It's so fun because this happens in Michigan. I have a lot of relatives in the Indiana, Michigan area.
Okay.
And Ron and Carol, who are so all these people are basically my mom's cousins, but a couple of them are little closer in age to me.
Okay.
And I have an Uncle Kenny and a cousin Julie that share my birthday, and so we've always kind of been whatever. So we go to this place, and Ron and Carol have an art barn. It is exactly what you think it is. You go in, you paint these crafts, you can make mosaics, whatever you want to do. And this is in Saugatuck, Michigan. It's called the Express Yourself Art Barn, which she found out that when you name it the Express Yourself Art Barn and it's all lower letters, then it looks like Fart Barn on the website.
That's amazing.
So she said, now what I've done is I've capitalized the first letter of each word. Yeah. And I said, all that's going to do is have idiots go, why is there a capital A in the word fart? But so we're there. We're having a great time. I ask about the house, right? Because the barn is the main thing. She bought this property because of the barn. But I ask about the house and like what the deal is. And in the basement, during Prohibition, there was a speakeasy, and they tried to take the piano out of the basement several different times with several different combinations of movers.
Okay. And
all hell broke loose every single time. So they're like, you know what? Maybe there's something happening here where whatever spirits are here don't want us moving the piano. So we're just going to leave it. There's a lot of weird coincidences in buying the house. You know, normally the buyer and the seller don't meet, but they ended up meeting because the realtor was late, and they found out that they each had 2 daughters and their birthdays matched up, and there are a bunch of other
weird
things. But then we started talking about other supernatural things.
Okay.
And they have a friend named Kent who has passed away.
Okay.
I believe what happened was he hit his head on a dock and then drowned because he was knocked unconscious.
Oh my God, that's horrific.
Brutal. So Kent's wife was visiting the art barn. They were in the house and they were talking. And they were talking about Kent and like all the good times. And then the wife saw a dime on the ground and was like, oh, that's Kent. And they're like, what? And she goes, yeah, anytime I'm talking about him or thinking about him or like I'm having a bad day, I find a dime. I think Kent just leaves me dimes to say like, hey, I'm here for you.
And was this something, did you say that she had discussed that with her husband? Or this is just something she's noticed as a coincidence before he passed?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. Like, if you want someone to feel that way, you can just be like on your deathbed and going, hey, I'm going to come back as concrete. So anytime you see concrete, just know that I'm there with you. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Cool, man.
We live in Manhattan.
Anytime, yeah. Anytime you're able to breathe air,
Yeah.
just know that that's me. So,
Yeah.
You could always set it up that way. But so then Ron, which by the way, let me tell you what Ron used to do for a living.
Okay.
Ron made the machines that crushed up the drugs and mixed up the drugs to form the pills that are Viagra.
Okay.
Just incredible. He's the boner king. He's the boner king of the world. He used to, because I remember he used to always come to these family reunions in suits and shit, and they were always so proper, and their daughters were always so well-spoken. And it was just like, but we never knew what they did.
Interesting.
We just knew that we were in cut-off jean shorts, and these two little girls would come in with proper dresses and like bows in their hair, and Ron's rocking a suit, and we're like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It felt a little bit like Dan Aykroyd's character in The Great Outdoors with John Candy, where he just showed up and he was never like a machismo guy, but just what, and I didn't know what he did. Then he got brain cancer and made it through brain cancer and was like, guess what? Fuck it. I'm retiring. I'm wearing cutoff shorts finally. This dude one time, my grandma and my great aunt, so they're sisters, were at this family reunion at their place, and Ron was grilling, and he put a turkey neck. He zipped it up in his shorts. Oh my God. And so it just looked like his dick was hanging out. And I don't know if this was the Jurassic Park turkey, but it was a decent sized neck. And so one of them was pretty offended, and my grandma was not the offended. She pretended to be offended. That's what she always did. She was like, oh, I can't even.
I can't.
There's no way I could look unless I spread my fingers to take a look at your dick. I mean, it was so fun. I laughed so hard watching my grandma pretend to not look at what she thought was a dick.
Yeah.
It was great. Anyways, so Ron goes to Kent's wife, hey, I would like him to send me a sign.
Okay.
And so she's like, hey, be careful what you wish for, man. This is a real thing. I'm like, whatever. So they're all out doing things. Carol is at the house. She has started the self-cleaning process of the oven. If you've never done that, it gets really, really hot, and everything you read is in capital letters, and it says, do not leave your oven unattended, because this could start a huge fire. There's 41 minutes left on the oven cleaning, but she has to go get one of her daughters from the airport, which is 45 minutes away, and she goes, how bad could it be? So she takes off with 41 minutes left in the cleaning process. She comes back, the oven is not working, completely not working at all. And they have to go on, they have to Google how to trip the lock, because your oven is locked at that point, because they don't want anyone opening it because it would like singe your face.
Oh my God.
That's how hot it gets. So they have to do that. He goes in, Ron goes down to the basement, checks some of the circuits, make sure nothing's tripped, comes back upstairs, and he says everything's fine. So they trip the lock, they go in, he's looking at the mechanics inside the oven, they cannot figure it out. Then they're reading more Google stuff, and it says, make sure your oven is plugged in. And so this oven has been there since 2008. So whatever that is, do the math, 17 years. He pulls the oven out, and he said it's super hard to pull out. Like he's struggling to get it out. And the fucking oven is unplugged. So then they Google what would happen if a human being unplugged an oven during the and they said you'd be dead, because it would, like, the electricity in that, it's a 220. So the electricity, you can't just unplug something that's cooking at that kind of heat. And so they go, well, fuck, couldn't be anyone that was alive because they'd be dead. Maybe it's somebody that's dead. Pull the oven back a little further, penny on the ground. Could be a coinky dink. We don't know. But here's the crazy part. Then Carol is Googling what happens if you unplug it and it says you'd be dead. And Ron goes, let me see that. And she hands him the phone, and he goes, why are you showing me a picture of a whoopee cushion? And she goes, what? It's not. It's the Google thing. He goes, no, there's a picture of a whoopee cushion on your phone. And then Kent's wife goes, what's that about a whoopee cushion? I guess this Kent dude was the whoopee cushion master, carried one with him, always had one on him so he could like play the trick. He loved whoopee cushions. And so that's on the phone. And then, there was something else. Oh yeah. So Ron and Kent had they were on a trip to China and they bought these red, like China army hats, whatever. And Kent's wife is showing them pictures of their cabin, but Kent had been gone for a while. And so whatever, she's going through the renovations on the cabin. And then there's a picture of Kent in that hat. And Ron and Kent used to wear these like as jokes for each other.
Yeah.
And he was like looking over his shoulder with a gotcha bitch look on his face. And she was like, I don't have any idea how this picture got in here. It's from over 10 years ago. And so, just a lot of stuff going on at the place. Then they plugged the oven back in.
Yeah.
And it was at 41 minutes still for the cleaning time. So as soon as she walked out of the house, it must have been unplugged. And I guess this Kent dude was like really big into safety. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but I'm sure some of you just thought this, except on the dock.
Sure.
But truly, like working with tools and anything like that, he was always safeguarded and stuff like that. So, So then they said, hey, when you and Kelsey come to make some crafts in the art barn, I mean, feel free and stay here. And I was like, well, I've already told her the story, so we can't. We'll have to stay out of the fucking state of Michigan. We'll have to either go to Canada or a surrounding area. I think she'd rather be on a floaty in Lake Michigan than stay at this haunted house of yours. And so then the next day, I was going to plant a bunch of dimes around the house because I thought it'd be really funny. But then I thought, nah, I better not fuck with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
my
just
God.
a lot of really interesting things. But that whoopee cushion picture was pretty wild.
All of it. The oven, like that somebody would have had to really put their back into it to move it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you unplugged it, you would die. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty crazy.
And they don't have any cameras in their house?
No, they're not perverts.
Oh, I don't know if they had like a cat cam or something.
No cameras. And my only hope is that Kent's wife sped home and really, really fucked with him. As she's like moving this picture over on her phone, and has hired movers, and she's like, guys, can we come on in and do this? And can we unplug it from a distance?
Drop a penny.
Yep.
God.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I told Ben, so our friend Ben was opening for me in Tacoma, and Chad told me this story before one of our shows, and I came back into green room and I was like, dude, I just heard the craziest ghost story. And I was like, I'm going to let Chad tell you it because I don't want to try to steal his thunder and I wouldn't have done it justice, but you owe Ben the ghost story.
Okay.
Unless he listens to it here, but
Done deal. He doesn't. So, but that's it. And then my sister and I and my mom had such a great weekend together. We laughed nonstop. There was one little hiccup where my sister thought she lost her phone as we were driving back to the Airbnb, and there's no way to turn around because you're on a skinny 2-lane highway. Mm-hmm. And so I said, she goes, well, maybe someone could just call my phone. And I go, maybe you could fucking remember your phone. And then it was silence for the whole drive back. And then finally she came around and was laughing again. But that's how it works in my family. Everybody spazzes out over the littlest things, but we had a great time. And so after that ghost story, we went back to the Airbnb for the first time. We hadn't even checked in yet.
Okay.
And we were checking all the bedrooms, and there's a bedroom upstairs with these skinny stairs. And then one of the decorations were little kids' rubber boots. Mm-mm. And so my mom goes, well, I'm not sleeping up here unless someone else does. And I go, well, the little boy is probably going to sleep on the couch next to you. And then she's like, fuck that. And then there's a movable wall. You can see that there's a piece of wall that moves. It's got little rollers on the bottom. And she goes, well, what's behind there? And I go, I don't know. I can't get it figured out. And she comes over, and as soon as she opens it, I shut the lights off. And she freaked out and just goes, you bitch. It was lovely. And I'm going to tell you, I laughed so hard that I was out of breath. My knees were on the stairs, and then my hands were 2 stairs above my knees. and I was really convulsed laughing and could not catch my breath. I think that's how you kill disease in your body, by laughing that hard. So I'm pretty excited about it.
You had those giggles when you called me, and it was making me giggle because I don't hear you get that sort of like, I don't know,
Sure.
the way you were, it's a rare thing.
It was so awesome because before I called you, I had moved those rubber boots and put them under my sister's bed so you could just barely see the tips.
You're such a fucker.
You know, here's what's interesting. So then they put the boots in my bedroom and I pulled them out, and we all agreed they looked smaller. So I remember when I grabbed them, I held them in my hands and I was like, yeah, it's probably like 8 or 9-year-olds rubber boots. And then it looked like a 4-year-old's rubber boots. When I grabbed them again, I was like, put them in my hands and they were felt smaller. And I was like, God damn.
What the fuck?
How many pairs of boots are in here? Yeah.
Scary.
I mean, I'm sure they were the same, but it was such a fantastic weekend. I got to see so many family members I haven't seen in a while. And then my sister got to come by herself, which is a rarity for her. And she just was like peak performance.
Love it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you've been on a fucking with people streak lately. You were, in our garage recently, and you came in, and I was in the kitchen. You said,
right.
"Oh my God, I found a snake in our garage." I said, "What?" And you came around the corner with one of your training bands that's green, and you shook it, and it moved exactly like a snake. And I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, you in full panic.
You loved that.
Yeah, I mean, get your heart rate up. I think it's great.
Because I don't get enough of that in this fucking house.
You don't. That's not fair. I mean, I dare you to talk about that.
You think I fucking would?
Yeah, I know. I know. Turn this whole fucking podcast into team chat if we talk about that.
If you fucking start with me right now, I like watch your ass for real right now. Oh my God. I have negative 1000% patience with you with this shit right now.
Perfect.
It's been a lot of fun behind the scenes.
Do you want to do, is there a middle segment today?
What do you think you're going to come back as after you die? Like, what do you want to be reincarnated as?
Oh, what would I like to be if that was a real thing?
Yeah, if you could be reincarnated, or if like you were going to leave, like, let's say I outlive you, what would you like leave as a little memento to let me know that you're around?
Oh, cat shit. All over the carpet. You're like, this motherfucker keeps coming back as cat shit. Unbelievable.
Oh, fuck.
How about you?
I don't know. Nothing's going to top that.
Okay.
I'll think of something for next episode when my brain's working better.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a middle segment.
Great. What is it?
It's not trivia.
I'm sure.
Can't afford to play trivia in times like these. I'm going to read a couple more questions that the listener wrote in that had given us questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Great.
But before we do, oh my God, Mia, for the love of Christ, you got to just sit it down, lady.
Come over here. Don't even fucking eyeball this.
I'm going to be in Portland this weekend, Thursday through Saturday at Helium Comedy Club. The early shows are already sold out, so get a ticket soon if you want to come. And then I am in Atlanta, San Antonio, Cincinnati. Oh my God, I have an announcement. Mm-hmm. It's my fall tour dates. I do need to announce them right now because I didn't announce them last time. Mm-hmm. Your eyes twitching like you're about to murder somebody.
No, I mean, it's April. We got to get these fucking fall dates announced.
Can you just stop? Guys, my fall tour dates went on sale last week. If you follow me online, you may have already seen them, but if you have not, hear this. I'm going to be in I'm going to be in Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Pittsburgh, San Diego. Oh, for Christ's sake. Is it Greensville?
I didn't book it. It's not my date.
I can't remember if it's Greenville. I always want to put an S on it. Greenville, South Carolina. Lexington, Fargo. Hey, Fargo listeners, I'm coming there. I've never performed there. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Denver. And then I'm shooting my special here in the Twin Cities. This is a big deal. I'm going to be shooting it where Chad shot his Netflix special at the Fitzgerald Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota. And apparently there are not very many tickets left for the early show. It's on Saturday, October 4th. There are some left for the late show, but get them fast because they're going fast. Salt Lake City, Chicago, Cleveland, Seattle, San Francisco, Charlotte, Greensboro, and Raleigh. KelseyCook.com for tickets. I'm very excited. Would love to see you guys there. Where are you coming, Chad?
I'm going to be in Winnipeg this weekend. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, United States. Nope, Canada, not United States. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I probably just made sure that I wasn't going to be allowed back into the country by saying that. Canada, yeah, that's where I'm going to be, Winnipeg. So if you know anybody that's defected, if you know anybody that's had to leave for Handmaid's Tale reasons.
Handmaids.
What's it called?
Handmaids.
What did I say?
Handsmaid.
Oh. Whatever the thing is, I just want you to come. Just tell people to go to the shows. And that's it.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. This episode is brought to you by Factor. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat. Perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss.
Yes. We love Factor so much. It's really nice to come home from, being away on the road. And have, oh God, we're doing this. And have food ready in the fridge so you can just heat up.
Heat up!
And not have to worry about, full on cooking. It's just so great. The meals are delicious. One of my favorite ones that I had recently was sort of like a barbecue chicken. There was like a cauliflower rice. It was buttery. It's healthy, but you don't feel like you're depriving yourself.
Don't feel like you're depriving yourself.
Get started at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off and use code pretendprob50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code pretendprob50 off at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Now back to the show. So this was submitted by Troy. We've been reading some of his questions for the middle segment before. This is more of them. It says, I assume Chad's story about the broken plate by the Canadian comedian was at least partially based on a true story. What happened next?
What happened next?
Yeah, I think because your story, this is on Dad Channel's, your son, Isaac.
No, yeah.
Maybe he's wondering if there was like an actual fight or if that guy got in trouble.
No, it was exactly how the story was told, and it was 100% true. It was Phil Hanley of
Did you put his book right
Canadian fame. Look at this. Got Phil Hanley's book called Spellbound out now. It's not about witchcraft. It's about the fact that he's dyslexic and he's had a very, very cool life. So if you want, you can download it on any of the Listen to Books apps, and if you're going for a walk, listen to it. Spellbound Phil Hanley, but that is who that joke is about.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard it, you can watch it on Dad Channels. You can watch it on Dad Channels, which is available on YouTube. I don't fucking know anything.
Do you have another YouTube announcement?
I don't think so.
Another special announcement?
Oh, so a long time ago, I recorded 2 specials in one night. Never been done before. No big deal, but nobody talks about it. I did that in Madison, Wisconsin. The first one was called Mixed Reviews. That came out. And then this one is called For Reals, and it will be out. A lot of stories at the end about Olivia's last year in high school. And so, you can check that out on my YouTube channel. For Reals, it's called, and that'll be out May 1st.
May 1st, tomorrow, if you're listening the day this comes out.
Yeah, that's true.
Thursday, May 1st. Okay, and then another question he asked is, how do you book tours? I'm in Rochester, New York, and it's been a while since you were both here. Well, what is in Rochester? Is there a club in Rochester? Is there
what is that thing called? It's at a hotel, I think. I've never been to Rochester, New York, but you go up to Albany and like the other northern places. So how do we book tours? We have an agent, and we kind of give them, basically what we'll do is we'll give them a wish list, and then they'll go, hey, don't forget about this market where you made everybody money last time. You should go back to there. And then Rochester's never in that conversation. So, but we could definitely request it. I'm trying to think. Carlson Inn, maybe? I can't remember. But so basically we just kind of send a wish list to our agents, and then they figure everything out. And sometimes they come with suggestions. But it really does come down to, trust me, would I love to go everywhere where 15 people wanted me to go? Yes. And I'm not even being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I would love to, but it just doesn't make sense. So unfortunately, we kind of have to stick to what works.
Yep. We also are able to see kind of information on our social medias of like where our, like the breakdown of the top 10 cities that our followers are in. And so you can use information like that to kind of figure it out. But yeah, it's like, unfortunately, there are only so many weeks in the year, and only so many of those that we're working, and it's like you kind of got to narrow it down and do the ones that you think are going to be most popular.
So. Now, sometimes that doesn't work, because let's say you had New York City has the lion's share of your Pandora listeners, and then you do a show in Long Island, which is an hour and a half from New York City, or Montclair, New Jersey, which is 11 miles from New York City, something like that. That still takes 45 minutes. And you would think, well, shit, let's do those, because those will sell for sure because of all the listening that happens. And then you get to the shows and you go, oh, that's right. Listening doesn't guarantee that people want to actually see you perform. Yeah. They just want to listen. That's why they're the listeners. So what you'd like to do is go by the statistics that show you where the ticket buyers are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to get into listener questions now. We're also about to be recording our Patreon bonus questions episode that will be out today as well. So if you want to hear more of your questions answered, it's patreon.com/pretendproblems. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one is titled, I Found My Kelsey. They say, hello, friends. What?
Oh, just laughing.
Hello, friends. I was a fan when I was single, but I've now found my Kelsey. We share a similar age gap to the two of you. Any advice on lovingly spanning the age gap? I'm trying not to be appalled at the movies she has not seen. From Scott is the New Chad.
Well, Scott, go ahead.
Let me think about this. I think the thing we have realized more and more is that it's less the age gap in like the traditional sense of you are older than me in age terms. It's like the generational differences. Mm-hmm. That is something that I didn't really realize until, I don't know, more recent times where it's like, oh, wow, the way your generation thinks about things is very different than my generation did. And it's kind of like, I also think parenting when Chad was growing up, different than parenting when I was growing up.
Well, also, I was being parented by 18-year-olds and you were being parented by 53-year-olds. Or, I mean, they were not obviously 53, but older.
Twice your parents' age.
Right. So they like kind of had their shit together, had seen some stuff. I mean, I told you, I get sick about once every 5 years because while my parents were doing 18-year-old things, I was just like licking stuff on the floor. which is fine because I'm healthy. My immune system is rock solid. You really have to get something crazy. Like you have to make something in a Chinese lab for me to get it. And then it's not even that bad when I get it. I have a little bit of a headache for the first day. And that's it.
Okay. Walk-in ER clinic on Christmas Day, walking pneumonia and bronchitis. That would have killed anyone else that had. I'm glad I sucked it up like John Coffey. Not that you'd get that reference. It's next on our list.
Yeah, but so yeah, you know, like her generation says stuff like age is just a number, and then my generation says your fucking mom's just a number. That's just kind of how it works because Gen X rules and millennials drool, and everybody knows it.
Sick burn.
Well, that's I know. You walked into it. It's the dumbest fucking saying, and it's a millennial saying.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I used to have little t-shirts with like a kitten and a bandana with its paw and a soccer ball that said girls rule. And that was like absolutely my generation's branding.
Yeah. So I think Gen X is, dare I say, 1,000,000 times tougher mentally, thicker skin. I'm not even trying to start problems here. I'm just saying like how we grew up, you needed to deflect. You needed to go. That was said out of love. I don't have to take this completely personally. And I think millennials were told like your feelings, every single one of them matter the most. And so I think you're going to have to watch that. If I were just going off of generational stuff. You're looking at me very upset. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about generations. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that. Go on a Gen X Instagram page and go on a millennial Instagram page.
Yeah.
It is just like my fucking feelings. I wear my feeling. They're mine, and I tell you about them every second of every day. And Gen X is like, yeah, I have feelings, and then I can sit here with them. Because when I told people about my feelings when I was younger, I got screamed at.
Right.
So now I sit here with my feelings.
Right.
And then you guys were asked, tell me about your feelings. And then you fucking did, and you thought that was normal. And then for us, it's not normal. So right. I think that is probably the biggest generational difference, in my opinion.
Mm. Yeah.
Why are you?
It is funny. It's like you yesterday were talking about like kids fighting. Like, let's say kind of around pre-teenage fighting, maybe a little younger. Mm-hmm. And that your solution is like that they just go out in the yard and fist fight.
With boxing gloves on. Let's not call me an animal here.
Okay. With boxing gloves on that, you know, you just have with you, and that you duke it out, and that's how you solve problems. You
don't just have them with you. You wear them around your neck as you're patrolling the cafeteria at school. And you go, hey, you two little motherfuckers, out in the yard. We're not doing this in here. And then everybody sits by the window. No one else gets to go out there except the teacher. Mm-hmm. And then you put the gloves on. And the first person that gets knocked down, you go, do you want to get back up or are you done? And if they want to get back up, they can. And then if they don't have to. And there's no like kicking them when they're down. This isn't a street fight. There are rules, but enough is enough. Yeah. Because otherwise it never it never blooms.
Yeah.
It's just all of this underlying tension where it's flicking an ear and fucking fish hooking and punching somebody in the ribs as they walk by or whatever, but it's never done. I say, bring it outside, fucking finish it, and then that's it.
And now, do you think that's like a generational thing or a boy thing? Like,
that might be, well, I'm going to say it's both. I don't know that a lot of boys that are millennial or Gen Z would feel this way. Right. And by the way, I'm not trying to say like fucking Gen X is the toughest generation. It's probably a bad idea, but it is a solution. It does fix things. Right. I saw a guy one time walk into Perkins. We were all out there on like a Saturday night. And he was like, had just moved from California, I guess was pretty tough kid, called out the best fighter in our school. He was like, let's see it. Let's see what happens. Let's take a shot at the title.
Just to fight?
Yep.
Didn't have an issue with the guy?
Yep. And it was exactly that, where they went outside, a couple punches got thrown, nothing that would probably even break glass. Mm-hmm. One of the kids slipped, and then the other guy got him down, like just a couple punches to the ribs, and he was like, all right, man, I'm done. But he goes, will you let me up and we can start again? And the guy was like, no, I mean, whatever. And then it ended up, and that was it. The guy helped him up, and that was the end of it. Those two never fought again. So I just think it's like, I don't know.
I guess, but like, why does it have to go that route instead of just telling each other what your problem is with each other and talking it out? Like, why does that? Because
I don't think that works. Because I think then there's still underlying, I mean, maybe it would work, but it's like the fighting thing it's fast.
Yeah, but you didn't talk about what was wrong.
I've been talking about the same thing in therapy for 8 years. If I could just fight that thing, that would be way better.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, maybe it's.
I don't know. I've seen it work. I'm sure it's not the solution, but I just, the thing you and I were talking about, it was two little kids just picking at each other nonstop. It ended up with a fight. One of the kids got out of school suspension. The other one didn't. It's like, hockey. Let them fucking fight, and then they both get penalties, and then they're back.
It is interesting now being a hockey fan and watching this, because I'd never seen this in another sport where it's like fighting is not just acceptable, it's encouraged. It's like the fans love it. You get like a slap on the wrist by the ref.
Yeah, it's not really encouraged as much as it is like if you, and this is more in the regular season, but if you fuck with somebody on the team that isn't a guy that's known for fighting, then the fighter comes out and goes, well, guess what? Now you get your fucking nose bloodied a little bit. And then we both go to the penalty box, and then it probably doesn't happen. It's just like, it's self-policing. It's like in a comedy crowd when someone won't shut the fuck up, and then someone in the crowd turns around and goes, hey, we didn't pay to listen to you talk. And you go, oh, yes. Because there is that thing where you're policing yourself. There's a respect to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not an authoritative figure that's coming in to tell you to stop. It's one of your own.
Yeah.
To tell you to stop. It's not the referee telling you can't do that. It is another guy in the league that punches you in the face repeatedly to tell you, like, we don't do that here.
Right.
Or the crowd, right? You're in the crowd together. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
We didn't give you any advice there, other than be mindful to the generational gap, because the years don't matter. It is just like, how you were raised, when you were raised, all that shit.
I agree. Okay. This next one is titled Working with an Infant. They say, hey folks, love your content.
Did you send this in?
Hey folks, love your content. Love the...
It was a burn on myself.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
Okay.
That's why I was joking and running with it.
Okay.
Love your content, love the honesty, love the dynamic. I have trivia and a question. I watched an episode of Middle of Somewhere, and Sai explained that Dalmatians are fire dogs because they calm the horses, which is partially true, but it's the answer given to kids during fire station visits. The trivia, why are Dalmatians fire dogs? What they don't tell you is they were used to protect the horses. Back in the day, dog food was made with horse meat, so the Dalmatians would dog fight in front of house fires to protect the horses. Don't tell Michael Vick.
Ooh, damn, I didn't know that.
It's horrible, all of it. Okay.
So they were like, you don't get to eat this horse, I do?
That's confusing.
I like that.
I don't know. On to my question. I'm a firefighter in Maine, and my wife and I are in the beginning stages of starting a family, tracking cycles, etc. My work schedule involves me being gone 3 days and nights a week, and that's if I don't work overtime. We work 24-hour shifts. I thought with both of your work schedules and traveling, especially Chad, where he has raised 2 kids, you might be able to give some ideas into how to healthily be away and come home to a family. My wife is understandably nervous about being a first-time mother and me being away for extended periods of time. Looking for insights and recommendations. Live, laugh, toaster bath, Ryan. That made me laugh out loud the first time I read that. Live, laugh, toaster bath.
Amazing.
Hilarious. It's so, I've never heard that before.
Neither.
Get that fucking sign at Target.
Yeah, no kidding. So here's my thing. Yeah. When you're gone, check in. When you're home, you are just dialed into home. You can't be half at work still. Give your wife as much of a break as she needs. Make sure, though, you're not just playing with the kids, and you have to give her attention too, because you have to remember she has just watched the child for 3 days without you. So you need to, maybe what you could do is like draw her a bath, sans toaster, like a bubble bath, get her going in there, and then play with the kid by yourself, make a nice meal. Well, here's the thing though. I know you're also going to be at work, so get your downtime when you're at the firehouse, because you're not going to have a ton of it when you're home. It is so much fucking work to be gone from your family for work at the beginning. So you're just going to have to, I mean, it's like you don't get to go home and rest, unfortunately, is the answer. You have a ton of shit and 2 people to care for in different ways. So it's a lot. So I would say, when there aren't fires and you're not having to wash the truck or answer questions about Dalmatians, nap.
Yeah, keep us posted. That's exciting. You guys are planning for that.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do one more. This is titled Detroit Fan. Mm-hmm. They say, Kelsey and Chad, hi, I don't have a pretend problem. I just wanted to write to tell you how much I enjoy your podcast and how much listening to it and Middle of Summer has helped in the past year. I've been a fan of Chad for many years and more recently of Kelsey's after I heard her on Middle of Summer and watched a couple of her specials. I love both of your intelligent style of stand-up, and I really appreciate how open and honest you are with each other and what a solid and mature relationship you have. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, when I
you
hear
made the infant joke.
When I hear this stuff, I just go, we've really managed to trick people. It's impressive. And we haven't tried. It's not like we sat down and we go, we need to trick these fucking fools. It's just, I guess we have.
I think we do. I think, I'll say what I think at the end of this email, okay? Kelsey, this week particularly, I could relate to the grief you're experiencing about your mom. I lost my son last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So sorry. Can't even imagine. And struggle daily with the grief. You are so lucky to have a supportive partner, even if he doesn't know what to say sometimes. I am sure my girlfriend is at a loss sometimes in dealing with me and my sadness. I always appreciate her presence, but I know it is overwhelming. Listening to Pretend Problems in Middle of Somewhere has been comforting when I cannot sleep or when I am in the house alone and need some friendly voices to fill the silence, and I always have a good laugh too. Today on a long drive for work, I listened to the most recent episode of Pretend and Middle, and it brought me such joy. I just about peed my pants when Chad called Sai's son Sunday a stretched out Caillou.
I don't even remember that, but that does sound pretty funny.
I am sure the others on the highway thought I was losing my mind when they passed and saw me laughing out loud. I think you were talking about that you can't tell how old he is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Kelsey, I was really hoping that one of your fall tour dates would be in the Detroit area and was disappointed when I saw the list. But there is always next year. I saw Chad last year in Royal Oak and Tampa and was hoping you might make it to Mark Ridley's Royal Oak Music Theater this year. I'm trying to find a show that coincides with some of my travel plans this year. Chad, I am sure you were great when you had an impromptu appearance with Tom Segura. I'm going to his show in Windsor, Canada later this year and would have loved if you surprised us at that show. Thank you for keeping me company when I needed it. I hope to be able to see both of you soon in the Detroit area soon. Marisa. Thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thanks.
This is such a nice email. The thing I was going to say with where you're like, oh, we've tricked people. I do think that if you put us on like the spectrum of relationships of like communication abilities and like, I don't know, whatever other markers are for good relationship health, I do think we are probably on the better end.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I don't know that this is ever really going to change. I think it's becoming a little more open for people, but people don't share their life online in a real way. Mm-hmm. Most people are just like normal people, not like trying to have a public persona or whatever. But like even the people who do have a more public persona are not posting clips of them and their partner having an argument on a podcast.
Right.
So we don't really get to see what is considered normal. I think that's, that show called Couples Therapy, I think became so popular because it's like, oh, fuck, we're like seeing a therapist's office. You're actually seeing other couples like actively fighting and what their issues are. Mm-hmm. And so I think for us, it can feel uncomfortable because it's not that common to see. I don't enjoy doing it, even though you guys seem to like it.
I get lumped into this quite a bit. A lot of we's and us's. It doesn't bother me. I've told you that.
Okay.
So, but I do know that it's not your favorite thing.
Right. Sorry. I'm saying we more in the sense of like, you also think that, where you're like, oh my God, that's funny that people think we have like a mature relationship when you're saying that you don't think we do. But are you saying that to be joking, or do you actually think we have a mature relationship?
I think we have somewhat of a mature relationship, sure.
Yeah.
I agree with your spectrum assessment.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Chad is Chad today. I could just see in your...
I don't know what that means.
I can see in your
awesome?
Your eyes.
Pure awesomeness.
Chad is awesome today. We are going to record that bonus questions Patreon. Hop over there if you want, and please go buy tickets to see us on tour.
Do it. Winnipeg. Call some people. Defect. Whatever you need to do.
All right. Bye, guys.